Welcome to Awake and Bake, an educational, high vibrational, mystical, spiritual show. I'm your host, Danny, and today I'm going to give you a really simple manifesting technique that you can basically do anytime, any place, no matter what you're going through, no matter what's happening in your mental, spiritual, physical world. Take a little hit with me of whatever cannabis you are smoking. We don't smoke cigs on this channel. Don't do it. Yeah, like I just said, I've been experiencing like a lot of anxiety, a lot of overwhelm. I've been having really bad nightmares again. And I noticed for me personally, when I take the time to like really practice slow living, I know I feel like that is like kind of a term that might have a negative connotation if you're someone who's like, but I'm a business bitch, but I'm a hustler. Like, okay, but hear me out. Slow living, like it's basically like doing less so you can do more, so you can still do all that shit, but you want to be able to like be your best, healthiest self and not like running all the time. You want balance. It's about having balance. You know what I'm saying? So the advice that I was given is to focus on whatever the last message you received from source, from the universe, from God, whatever the last message you received is, just focus on that and just keep working on that until you receive another message that is equally as like in your face. So you don't have to go looking for other signs, right? Keep doing whatever the last message you got was, like make that your focus until something equally as alarming or like in your face or like aligned with what you need to do pops up. That way you're not going to be focusing on trying to do 20 different thousand things. You know the way that we talk about like setting intentions, like setting an intention every single day? It's the same thing. Focus on whatever the intention or the message that you are supposed to be like working on. Make that your intention for every single day. Whatever source told you, whatever sign you were given, that's your now intention every single day. And if you're like, I don't really have any like profound messages, I got you, bitch. So I have 5 quotes that I'm going to read to you today. Whichever one pops out the most, stands out the most to you, make that your message from source. And just continue with that until you get another one that's equally as strong, or until you get like a feeling like, all right, I've kind of, got this one under my belt, time for a new one. The first quote we're going to start out with is, when in doubt, always err on the side of compassion. That's for you, that's for other people, that's for everyone. That does not just mean like if you're dealing with a situation that's like frustrating and like a motherfucker's pissing you off, you have to always be like compassionate to them. Be compassionate to yourself as well. That's really what stood out for me with this quote. The second quote is, you must stop seeing God as something separate from others and separate from you. Now hear me out, because I don't like the term God. It just has a religious connotation when I think about it, and I don't really fuck with religion because of my history with it. Regardless, we all know in the spiritual community, God is the same thing as source power. It's the same thing as the universe, right? So stop seeing, like I've heard, I went to a Catholic school for years. I heard those bitches tell me that you are made in his image. Bless you, my puppy sneezing, bless you. You are made in his image, or hers. But regardless, that means like, even they know it, but they just like don't know it, you know what I mean? We are God. That's gonna piss people off. We are God. We are God. I am God. You are God. We are all God. I feel like even religions kind of know that when they say like, you are made in its image or whatever, but they just like take it to like you're not shit and God is all the shit. And it's like, guys, we are God. This quote does a lot for me because honestly, it brings me to a sense of peace, right? It's not like a God complex where I'm like, I'm a God. It's not like a negative God complex. It's like, I'm already enough. Like I am literally just God. I'm the universe experiencing itself. I don't need to prove anything. I am God. The third quote is, with every interaction and everything you say, how can you be an outpour of love? Easy. That's a really easy one. I had kind of had to have like a hard conversation recently with someone. What really helped me was I was like, how can I come at this from a place of like love and compassion for the other person rather than like being like, you're pissing me off. Like be like, hey, are you okay? Like what's going on? Like how can I help you be better, feel better, do better? Ooh, this quote. Oh my God, this one's good. I got this from this book that I'm reading. Okay, this one says, nothing breeds fairness faster than visibility. Let's talk about it. This is talking about being an honest, open person, right? So the context of this quote is actually, if we were to create a more advanced society, a more healthy society where there is less poverty, everyone benefits, everyone is like living a healthy, fulfilled, abundant lifestyle, right? The way we would have to do this is to make everything more visible. This means how much money we make, how much money we spend. Like it wouldn't be this like secret, like, oh, I hide my money overseas type thing, which I know is being done. And that's why a lot of billionaires, millionaires don't have to pay all that motherfucking taxes because I digress. But if we were visible about everything, right, then there would be way less opportunity for like people to like suffer. Everything would be more fair the more visible everything was. So this also kind of makes me feel like the more honest of a person you are, the better of a person you'll be. Like, fairness is directly correlated to visibility. Coronated? Like a queen. Correlated to visibility. And then the very last quote is, make your days and nights a direct reflection of your highest self. So, I think that means like we should all get high. I'm just kidding. Well, yes. Well, I'm not kidding. I wanted this to be the last quote because I feel like it perfectly ties together what I talked about in the last video, which was that for 2023, my motto is, how would my higher self handle this? So this is basically the same thing. Like, day and night, act however your highest self would. If you've been feeling a little bit overwhelmed or a little bit uneasy or anxious or just like, I don't know, 2023, it being a new year in general, it's a lot of pressure in like the middle of winter when we don't feel like all of a sudden like being our new best self. I'm waiting until spring. You can do you. But I hope that this video brought you some kind of ease. Like, I can't be the only person who's like a little bit uneasy right now because I know how the collective conscious works. I'm very tuned in, tapped in, turned on, or whatever Abraham Hicks says. And I'm feeling anxiety not just from myself, but like from the energy around me. So I'm really trying to focus on slow living, doing less so I can do more, kind of focusing on like one thing at a time and more balance, honestly. So that comes with making one thing at a time like a priority. I can't be putting my brain in 20 million different places, you know what I mean? So I hope that one of these 5 quotes stood out to you, and then just remembering to just focus on one thing, one sign, one message from source, from God, from the universe that really sticks with you until you find another thing, until you hear something else that really sticks with you even more. Then you can move on to that. But we don't have to try to always like, oh, well, I have to be mindful and I have to set intention, I have to journal, and I have to do yoga, and I have to meditate, and I have to do this. You don't have time to always do all that. That's okay, baby. Like, one thing at a time, and stay high.